This is T-Mobile's latest Windows Mobile 6 smartphone, the Shadow. The Shadow, as you can see, is a small slider smartphone, similar in size to the BlackBerry Pearl. It is about the same width, although it is just a hair thicker. The Shadow features a generous screen with a standard D-pad and navigation cluster here along the bottom of the phone. This D-pad doubles as a scroll wheel, which you can see will scroll through the menus. Although there is a little bit of a lag, the scroll wheel does not seem to work perfectly all the time. You can also use it as a regular D-pad to scroll through the menu systems of the Shadow. But before we get too far into the menus, let's continue on with the hardware. On the front are these buttons, and they may look like they're standard buttons, but they're actually very uncomfortable to use. Our left thumb got lots of cramps trying to reach these buttons. The function keys here are actually quite small, and because of the way these keys are angled, they're a little bit hard to find and push. Also on the left side of the phone, we can see the volume keys here and the USB adapter jack there. You will have to use this doohickey here if you want to add headphones and charge it. And the micro SD slot is here along the left bottom. Nothing along the very bottom of the phone. And on the right is the camera key as well as application key. On the back of the phone is the 2 megapixel camera and slots for the speakerphone. And of course, when open, you can see the T-Mobile Shadow branding here above the slider. Now that we have it open, let's take a look at this keypad. The keypad has a very nice soft touch feel to it, and it is a sure type keypad versus a QWERTY keypad. So you can see there are 2 letters per key going across the keys here. There's good feedback and action to these keys, and they have nice bevels and valleys so that you can definitely tell when your finger moves from one to the next. And because they're made of a rubbery-like substance, your fingers do not slip off the keys when typing. This makes typing actually fairly accurate, especially when paired with XT9 or with the Windows Mobile predictive software. Now that we've taken a quick look at the hardware, let's dive into this menu system. So while the root operating system is still Windows Mobile 6, users can use this overlay system, which includes T-Mobile's My Faves program, to access most features of the phone, including your calls, the messaging center, the calendar and appointments, the web, the media player, your pictures and other media, as well as general settings for the phone. So if we zoom back to the top, you can see using the scroll wheel will automatically slide around your T-Mobile My Faves contacts, as will using the D-pad as a normal D-pad. If you want to access these things here along the left, though, you do have to press down on the D-pad rather than scroll it. The scroll wheel will help you zoom through your different options in each folder. There's a number of different things we can do from the user interface right here. And we can zoom through and see our appointments with the calendar. T-Mobile, we can jump to certain sections of the T-Zone's website, and with the music we can check and jump around inside the Windows Media Player a little bit, and with the pictures we can zoom here on the home screen back and forth and see a slideshow by using the scroll wheel. And finally, of course, the settings menu here along the bottom, we can see a number of different things and make changes to the settings on the phone directly from this home screen. So this overlay is a very nice way to access many of the phone's features. Of course, if you would rather use the standard Windows Mobile features, simply hit the left function key and that'll bring you into the main menu. The main menu for the Shadow is actually a bit of a disappointment. It has most of the features you'd expect to find in a Windows Mobile smartphone, but you can't customize this menu in any way. Typically when you hit menu, you get the option to have things appear as a grid or a list or whatever, and for some reason you cannot adjust the way the menu appears here. Even diving into the settings, you can't adjust the menu system. But you can see here, we can scroll down and find everything in the main menu. The Shadow definitely wants to act sideways when used as a camera. Let's push the camera button and launch the camera. You can see here the menu system for the camera is built sideways. So it expects you to hold the camera like this and use the button here to take pictures. But from here, you can access all of the settings for the camera and make whatever adjustments you see fit. And jumping into a fuller settings menu, you can choose to send things, how the camera itself works, and other settings for the camera. It also browses the web at reasonably good speeds. We'll jump down to the mobile browser, and even with the Edge system, it loads pages pretty quickly. We will go to one of our favorites and see how fast it will bring up good old Google. So it's loading Google, and really not too bad for loading up Google. The T-Mobile Shadow is definitely a leap forward with Windows Mobile 6 smartphones. The overlay here, created by Microsoft for T-Mobile, is a fun and much more interesting way to access many of the phone's features. There are a few foibles, however. The scroll wheel does not seem to want to work as naturally as you would like it to, and the processor is a bit slow, which makes accessing some of the phone's features a little bit sticky. Otherwise, the attractive slider form factor and good keyboard, good SureType keyboard, along with the user interface overlay, make for a very appealing Windows Mobile 6 smartphone.